Good morning. Today is March 2nd. We're still in the lesson quarterly, God's Love and Justice. This week's lesson is called Rules of Engagement, and today it's called An Angel Delayed, no doubt from the book of Daniel. As we have seen, the false gods of the nations were demons in disguise, and elsewhere we see evidence that demonic celestial rulers are sometimes behind earthly rulers. Even angelic agents sent by God can be opposed by the forces of the enemy. Read Daniel 10, 1-14. In the third year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a message was revealed to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar. The message was true, but the appointed time was long, and he understood the message, and he had understanding of the vision. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. I ate no pleasant food, nor meat or wine came into my mouth, nor did I anoint myself at all, till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled. Excuse me. Now on the 24th day of the first month, as I was by the side of the great river, that is the Tigris, I lifted my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose waist was girded with gold of Uphaz. His body was like beryl, his face like the appearance of lightning, his eyes like torches of fire, his arms and feet like burnished bronze in color, and the sound of his words like the voice of a multitude. And I, Daniel, alone saw the vision, for the men who were with me did not see the vision, but a great terror fell on them, so that they fled to hide themselves. Therefore I was left alone when I saw the great vision. And no strength remained in me, for my vigor was turned to frailty in me, and I retained no strength. Yet I heard the sound of his words, and while I heard the sound of his words, I was in deep sleep on my face, with my face to the ground. Suddenly a hand touched me, which made me tremble on my knees, and on the palms of my hands. And he said to me, O Daniel, man greatly loved, understand the words that I speak to you, and stand upright, for I have now been sent to you. While he was speaking these words to me, I stood trembling. Then he said to me, Do not fear, Daniel, for from the first day that you set your heart to understand and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come because of your words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days, and behold, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, for I had been left alone there with the kings of Persia. Now I have come to make you understand what will happen to your people in the later days, for the vision refers to many days yet to come. This is pay special attention to the verses 12 and 13. What do these verses teach that is relevant to the cosmic conflict? Well, that there are good angels and bad angels. There are demonic forces that contend with angelic forces. What do you make of the angels sent by God being withstood for 21 days? He was fighting, but not fighting as we know it. There was some sort of conflict going on, which had been drawn to a stalemate. Him and the prince of Persia were contending with each other, and neither one could defeat the other. And so he had to wait for God to send Michael, who apparently was mightier. And so he was able to distract the prince of Persia so that this angel, this unnamed angel, could go and Gabriel. It says Gabriel. Sorry, I missed that. Anyway, what do you? Yeah. How could it be that an angel sent by God could be withstood for 3 weeks? Being all-powerful, God possesses the power to respond to Daniel immediately. That is, he had chosen to. Or had he chosen to. Excuse me. If he exercised his power to do so, he could make an angel appear to Daniel right away. Yet the angel sent by God was withstood by the prince of the kingdom of Persia for 3 weeks. What is going on here? For 3 weeks, Gabriel wrestled with the powers of darkness, seeking to counteract the influences at work on him, on the mind of Cyrus. All that heaven could do in behalf of the people of God was done. The victory was finally gained. The forces of the enemy were held in check all the days of Cyrus and all the days of his son Cambyses. That was from the book Prophets and Kings. In order for such a conflict to transpire, God must not be exercising all of his power. The enemy must be afforded some genuine freedom and power that is not removed capriciously, but is restricted by some parameters known to both parties, the details of which are not revealed to us. It seems there must be parameters in the cosmic conflict that even God's angels are operating within, which in the coming lessons will be referred to as the rules of engagement. In a certain sense, understanding these limits might not be hard if we grasp the idea, already talked about, that God works only by love, and that love, not coercion, is the foundation of his government. This idea that God works only through the principles emanating from love can help us better understand the great controversy. Discussion question. Have you experienced the limits of working only through the principles of love and not coercion? Yeah, I believe I have. What lesson did you learn about the limits of power? That they are there for our sake, really. They are, if there were no limits to some people's power, then our freedom of will would be taken away by others. All right, well, thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.